Well, it started in the summer of 2018, and people like Elton and I, and Joe and I, have been familiar and associated with each other for many years in the business that we were in. And of course, when the lava flow came and just absolutely destroyed everything, my heart went with them. I had already sold my nursery back then, and so of course I sold it to, was devastated. But I also knew that the heart of the orchid industry was centered in Kapoho because of the great microclimate that was down there. And the key growers were people like Elton and Joe and some others that their whole livelihoods were decimated, and no amount of direct federal help or subsidy or anything else going to make up for it. And they've gotten some relief funds, but nowhere near the value of what they lost down there. And the rest of the industry, of course, I'm a member of the board of the Hawaii Floriculture and Nursery Association, HFNA. I was a member of the board, and so what we did is we formed an ad hoc committee, a limited number of people, to see what we could do to get the nursery business back in business as soon as possible. As you all know, many government officials, elected officials, everything else, pledged their support, but we've been in business long enough to know how long that would take. They talked about opening a new orchid park. They talked about certain sites, and I hope it's done within my lifetime, but I have my doubts, realistically speaking. So what we did is we took the initiative and started talking to private landowners to see what might be feasible. And of course, at that time, the president of W.H. Shipman was Bill. Yes. And I met with Bill, and he was very empathetic, and he said that W.H. Shipman was willing to help. But he was retiring in December of that year, and so he introduced me to Peggy Furias, who's the current president. And he told me that she was the president-elect of W.H. Shipman. So from the time before that, I started working with Peggy, and she introduced me to her cousin, Oliver English, and we worked together to come up with some concept for an orchid park within the Shipman properties. Initially, we found about a 50-acre parcel further down Railroad Avenue as a possible site for an orchid park. So we got meetings together, some of the orchid growers. We told them what was available. We had a memo of understanding of some very favorable terms with Shipman and Company, and the reaction was varied. Some farmers said, "No, I had enough. I'm done. Here's my towel. I give up." Some just wanted to scale back and not get involved, but there's some very few key people that said, yes, we want to get involved. Elton and Joseph in particular. But with a smaller number of growers, what we did is scale the size of the nursery project down. When we did that, Oliver suggested, is the bottom of a quarry a decent place for a nursery? Said, yeah, there are many aspects to the bottom of a quarry. First of all, what are you going to do with it when it's ag zone? Number two, it's already relatively leveled out. And number three, with the walls of the quarry, you've got some degree of security. And number four, we're up at about 290 feet elevation. Kapoho was down within 100 feet elevation, so it's a little cooler. So within the bottom of the quarry, it's warmer than you would otherwise find up at ground level. So we thought that the compromises and everything else would be such that it would work. And as you can tell, standing here, it feels like Kapoho, doesn't it?
Too warm.
Gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, Joseph Kekedy, our Vice President.
Hey. I had a plan yesterday to hike in there because I haven't. But because of all these things happening over here, I put it off probably this weekend. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna.
So what
Back
happened
my-
3 years ago, Joseph?
3 years ago, I had to leave my farm and home, and regretfully to apply myself to the new adventure, which I didn't know what will be. And I'm happy to say I'm a part of this. I
How'd
put a
you
few nuts and bolts together over here to make this created so we can sweat here.
How'd you
But-
leave Kapoho?
I left Kapoho by the grace of my friend Shane Turpin, who's a lava tour boat operator. Luckily, we were in contact what's to come. Originally, I was going to climb up on Green Lake. Lucky I didn't do that because who knows what would have happened. So anyway, with 50 passengers on his boat, they came to pick me up on June 2nd, about 4:30, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, with my 2 dogs. And that evening, I spent in a hotel in Banyan Drive. And in the morning, when I woke up 5 o'clock, I'm looking out of the 8th floor through the window, and I said, "It's raining." I said, "Great, my water tank is filling up." And I'm like, "What water tank?"
It's under lava.
The water tank we were building. You were building when I was building.
You had a
one.
brand new water tank.
I had a brand new one. Spent like $15,000 on my brand new
I had the
water
same one.
system, you know. As soon as I was done, lava came and took it. So it's still in my mind. Next morning, when I was rescued, like, yeah, my water tank filling up. What water tank? It's gone.
So how come you didn't throw in the towel? What made you? Back?
Nothing gonna make me throw the towel.
Mhm.
Nothing. No way. Nothing gonna make me throw the towel in. It's just a continuation of life, you know, and it's an unknown. It's actually the unknown have a excitement in it. You go to places you never been, it could be really good. And I've been learning that a lot of spiritual teaching is telling us, welcome adversity in your life, because that's the only thing he's teaching us. So God has been good to me. Thank you. Thank you. Come on, partner. Come on, partner.
What are we gonna say?
You were doing the same thing. We were working together to build your water system,
Yeah.
my water system.
Thanks to Joe, he showed me how to build a water tank.
I just bought a compactor like a month before that, and we were using the compactor, you know,
Yeah.
that also went. But
It was
anyway,
a first-class water tank.
and now you know how to build them?
I don't know.
What is the name of your nursery down there, Elton?
Orchid Plantation. We're located at the Mackay side of Green Lake Mountain. Both of us in the same district.
Neighbors.
Yeah, district. And,
You're the largest
Yeah.
orchid nursery down there. Right?
Yes.
we were the largest cut flower orchids, probably in the state. That was the good climate for growing under shade cloth because not too much rain.
Proper climate.
And good climate. So
What does it mean to you to be part of this?
well, it's being part of something bigger than just myself. You know, it's, being working by yourself. You're of course you're in charge of everything, but you're also responsible for everything. But there's limitations of what you can do as a sole proprietorship. But I can see that with this operation, with more heads, more knowledge, expanded knowledge and scope, that
Huge
we
potential.
can do much more than I myself could do. And part of it is getting some grants that allows us to start. I mean, it doesn't pay for everything, but hard work from Joe, nice building. Everybody chipping in, we can then do some great things.
You have hope for the future now?
I have more hope. Yes. Yes. And that's all you can ask for is some hope.
Future is wide open.
And keep working at it. I mean, look, you don't give up. I'll be growing orchids
As long as you live.
as long as I live. Of course.